Hello friends, welcome to the learning platform Claim IAS. Today we are back with a new topic that is Plato's theory of communism. Friends, when we study communism, one philosopher definitely comes in our mind, that is Karl Marx. But today's topic we are going to discuss Plato's theory of communism. So let us understand friends why there was need of communism in Athens. See, Plato's proposed communism to tackle the problem of corruptions. As we know friends from the previous chapters, previous topics that there was a huge corruptions in Athens. So in order to avoid the corruptions, Plato proposed communism to tackle the problem of corruptions. So here, communism is supplementary or secondary mechanism. It's not the primary mechanism to address the corruptions. So what is primary mechanism here? Primary mechanisms are education is the primary mechanism. Why? Because education teaches or makes the person virtuous. It creates a virtuous societies. So Plato believes that if ruling class are men of reasons, they will understand what constitutes a good life. What is good life? So money and power is not the source of good life. It's not the ultimate reality of life. That's what a good man or a ruling class who has proper reasons will understand this. So that education plays a vital role here in the primary mechanism. And then let's have a look towards secondary mechanism. Here, Plato proposes communism as additional safeguards. Here, additional safeguards, he doesn't want to take any chance, friends, in order to get corrupted. Friends, though philosopher is a man of reason, yet he has appetite too. There is always a possibility that, in a particular situations, his appetite may dominate over his reason. So Plato does not want to take any chance and want to avoid even the slightest possibility of getting corrupted. So that's the reason he brought uh, additional safeguards uh, as a communism. So here Plato says, though primarily relies on the reason of ruling class, but he believes that even philosopher is a human being. As we know, friends, every individuals here, no one is perfect here. So that's the reason he says implications of considering philosopher as a human being. Why he considers a philosopher as a human being? Why? Because every individual has the three elements of soul here, like reasons, courage, and appetite. So it is not clear that a person with reason will always be a good ruler. Good ruler. Why? Because here every person's have an element that is appetite. So that's the reason he proposes additional safeguards mechanism that is communism in order to avoid the corruption in Athens. Friends, now we shall understand the features of Plato communism. So basically, it means the guardian class, the only guardian class. Who are in the guardian class? The ruler class plus the soldier class. So these two include in order to form a guardian class. So since they will have the power, they can go corrupt. As we know, friends, the persons with power, there is a high probability that he or she might get corrupted. So in the previous slides, we have known that Plato have proposes communism for the ruling class, and here why Plato does not propose the communism for the producer class. Let's understand, friends. So here neither it is possible nor it is required for the producer class. Why it is neither required nor possible? Why? Because here producer class are not given the positions of ruling. So basically he don't have any power. He just have an element of soul that is appetite. So why it is not possible for the producer class? Why? Because they are men of appetite and hence they can't control their desires. As we know, friends, the person with appetite are suitable to be the producer class. And if he is producer class, he don't have control over his desire, over his self-interest, so that that is not possible in order to uh, have communism for the producer class. And let us also understand that why it is not required. Why? Because since they are not in power, they will not have opportunity to be corrupt. Why? Because as I have told previously, that a person who are in power are mostly they are seen to be corrupted. But a person who is not in power are less seen to be corrupted. And now let us have a look towards idea of communism. Here, friends, basically idea of communism deals with rejections of private property and support of common ownership. Here, friends, rejection of private ownership basically means one should not have the private ownership. One should not have the capital for its own productions. That is what private ownership mean here. And communism proposed by Plato are of two types. One is communism of property, and second is communism of family. Here, friends, communism of family plays a vital role in the huge corruptions and in the nepotism. Why? Because property is the byproduct of family. First family came, then only property came here. So we should understand how family plays a vital role in the corruptions and nepotism. Here, we should start with communism of property. So, in communism of property, the guardian class will not be allowed to own private property, only the personal property. So, the difference between private property and personal property is basically private property is typically refers to capital or the means of productions, while the personal property refers to consumers and non-capital goods and services. That is basically the difference between private property and personal property. So here, one has the uh, right towards his personal property and not the private property. And now let us have look on communism of family. Here, friends, no right to family. Here, there should be no existence of family in the state. And according to Plato, family is greater evil. It is not for family that people accumulate more property through the unfair means. So basically, friends, here family accumulate more property not for themselves but also for their upcoming generations, and it leads to nepotism. And now, friends, features of marriage means what are the features of marriage as per Plato? So, marriage will be controlled by the state. Who will marry? That will be decided by the state. So, here, individual have no right to choose their own partner. Here, state will decide. Basically, what happens here? The state will bring the two genders, both male and female, for the reproductions, and they have to produce the best breed with good race. That is what the priority of state here. And every persons will not be allowed to marry. See, friends, every individuals will not have uh, a right to marry here. So, who will have the right to marry? Let's understand here. So here, only the persons of Greek, Athens, in Athens, both men and women will be allowed to marry. And in Athens, the men and women should be of good quality in order to produce a good children, a best hybrid with best race. That is what Plato says here. In the previous slides, we have known friends. So here in the selective methods, the selective method of marriage is for eugenic purpose, just for producing children. And here, the only purpose of marriage is procreations. Only for the ableist man or woman will be permitted to marry so that they can produce the best race or have the best breed. That is what the priority of marrying. So, friends, after the marriage, once the child is born, after a few months, he or she will be taken in the custody of state. So once the children is born, the children has to be given to the state. So state will take the responsibility of those children. But do we think it's fair enough? Well, it's not. Why? Because there is some disadvantages. Everyone's child is no one's baby. As we have heard this statement, see friends, every children's have uh, have emotions towards their parents, and every parents have emotions towards their baby. So those emotions and care cannot be given by the state. So that is one not good thing here. And the second one is the baby cannot receive the love and the parents have towards the parents that have that the care or the love towards their children. So here, friends, the baby of the parents, the baby cannot receive the love that parents gives to their own children. So that is the main problem here. And now let us have look towards what is the advantage of giving the baby to the state custody. The first advantage is it will help to tackle nepotism. There actually what happens there in the family friends, what actually happens, parents they go on accumulating the wealth or the property for their upcoming children. So there the nepotism is rising, but if the children are given to the state will take responsibility of the children's. So what actually happens here, it will help to tackle the nepotism. So nepotism will be controlled here because rulers will not be able to identify child. Thus, he will treat all children as his own. So, friends, whoever children are given under the state custody, the state will take care of the all children in a equality manner. And the second advantage is liberation of women. Here, see friends, previously women were given the work to take care of their children's work in their homes. That is what the duty given to the women. But once the children's are taken away from the women's get liberated here, and they are unable to perform the duties to the state or play a role in the affairs of state because they are involved in the affairs of family and taking care of children. As I have told you, friends, so before they were given the work to take care of their children's work at home, but now if there is no children's, they have they are quite liberated, and now they can perform their different duties. Why? Because children's are given to the state custody. And now, friends, let us differentiate between Platonic communism versus modern communism. So let us have a look towards Platonic communism. So Plato's communism is associated with Plato, and modern communism is associated with Karl Marx, or the ideas of. And the second point is Plato is idealist. Plato wants the ideal state or the virtue state, whereas Marx is materialistic. Marx always sees the things towards materialistic. He believes in the materialistic world. And the third point is Plato wants to create an ideal state and believes in the supremacy of the state. As I have told friends, Plato believes in the ideal state or the virtue states. And here, Marx considers state as instrument of exploitations and wants to end the state. So basically, Marx do not believe in the state, in the formation of state, in the existence of state. So he wants to uh, ex- uh, end the state. And in the fourth point, Plato does not support any violence, but Marx supports the violence. So here Marx thinks any exploitations can only be eliminated through the violence. So he believes in the violence. At the next point, Plato divides the state into three classes. Marx want to abolish these classes. Marx do not believe in the formation of any classes, whereas Plato believes in the formation of three classes. And the next point is Plato considers the idea of ultimate reality. As I have told friends, to be the rulers, he should have the ultimate reality, that how to rule, how to create a virtuous society, how to have the stability in the state, and how to achieve the excellence in the society. That is what Plato believes in. And here, Marx considers idea as false consciousness. Marx here says there is nothing called right and wrong. Everything that we consider right and wrong is just false superstitious. Yes, there is not false consciousness. So Plato basically, Marx do not believe in the Plato. Here, Plato expects citizens to sacrifice their interest for the sake of society, wants to think of their society and not for their self-interest. Whereas Marx calls revolution as against the state. So basically, Marx says that there should be a revolutions against the capitalist, against the people of the state. So here we end the topic called theory of communism, and as well as we complete the Plato's. So thank you for watching here. And friends, stay continued for upcoming lectures. So next topic, we are going to discuss the important questions and answers from the chapter called Plato. So if you found this topic as helpful from your exam perspective, do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.